BBC News with Sue Montgomery. Italy's parliament has re-elected President Sergio Mattarella for a second term in office. The 80-year-old president repeatedly said he wanted to step down, but he was persuaded to stay on after the MPs failed to agree on an alternative candidate. Here's our Rome correspondent, Mark Lowen.
Sergio Mattarella has been a very popular and widely seen as a very competent president, but he just did not want a second term in office. It's a 7-year term in the presidency. He's 80 years old. He felt it was time to hand over to somebody else, but there was just an inability by Italian politicians and parliamentarians to unite around anybody else. I mean, they tried in 7 rounds of voting, but they just didn't do it. You know, I think it's an indictment of Italian politicians, really, and Italian politics, that it's so divided, and they just did not have the imagination to think beyond the status quo.
A military court in the Democratic Republic of Congo has handed down death sentences to 49 people for involvement in the murder of 2 UN investigators. An American, Michael Sharp, and Zaida Catalan, a Swedish Chilean, were killed in the Kasai region in central Congo in 2017. Will Ross reports.
Those found guilty were almost all members of a Congolese militia. They were given death sentences but will serve life in prison. A colonel in the army was given 10 years. The murders of Michael Sharp and Zaida Catalan were particularly shocking. Zaida Catalan was beheaded by her killers. The pair had been investigating mass graves, and there's been some suspicion that senior members of the Congolese military didn't want them to get near the truth. Human Rights Watch says this 4-year murder trial has not uncovered what really happened.
Niger's army says it's killed 10 Islamist militants who'd carried out an attack on one of its positions in the southeastern Difa region close to the border with Nigeria. The Defence Ministry said it also destroyed 3 vehicles of the militants. The shootout happened early on Saturday in the village of Chetimawangu, which has often been targeted by jihadist groups. Police in Venezuela have arrested a mayor from the governing Socialist Party, 2 members of Congress and 3 other people for alleged drug trafficking. Kerinet Fernandez was elected as a town mayor in November. Here's our Americas editor, Leonardo Rocha.
The Socialist Party Vice President Diosdado Cabello said Venezuela wouldn't condone the crimes committed by any government official. The authorities say search warrants have been issued for a number of other people as part of an anti-narcotics operation in the state of Zulia on the border with Colombia. Venezuela has become a major hub for drug trafficking operations. The U.S. accuses President Nicolás Maduro and senior members of his administration of involvement. Mr. Maduro rejects the allegations.
World News from the BBC. An American woman accused of leading an all-female Islamic State group battalion in Syria has been charged with providing material support to a foreign terrorist group. Alison Fluke Ekren, formerly from the U.S. state of Kansas, was named in a criminal complaint filed in a Virginia district court. Mike Thompson has more details.
Alison Fluke Ekren is said to have trained both women and children in using AK-47 assault rifles, grenades and suicide belts. The 42-year-old is also accused of planning attacks on a US college campus and a shopping mall. In a statement, the US Justice Department said that at least 6 individuals had observed Ms. Fluke Ekren's alleged terrorist conduct between 2014 and 2017.
Libya's Interior Ministry has received nearly $47 million worth of new equipment from Italy to help the country combat illegal immigration to Europe. The EU-funded hardware includes spare parts for Coast Guard boats, mobile administrative offices and logistical support. UN figures say Libyan Coast Guards intercepted more than 30,000 migrants trying to reach Europe last year. US media say one of the biggest stars in world sport, the American football quarterback Tom Brady, is expected to announce his retirement after 22 seasons. The 7-time winner of the Super Bowl is considered by many to be the best quarterback in the history of the game. He won 6 Super Bowls with the New England Patriots before joining Tampa Bay and winning a 7th in his first season there. In football, Burkina Faso have beaten Tunisia in the second match of the quarter-finals in the Africa Cup of Nations. They'll face either Senegal or Equatorial Guinea in the semi-final. Earlier, the hosts of the tournament, Cameroon, beat Gambia, securing their place in the semi-finals. BBC News.